Okay, we're going to use SEO Optima again for wwf.org.uk. This time we're going to look at the last sections of this audit report. So it's actually not the sections that have been graded here, but it's additional information at the bottom of what's been searched and how the website itself has been set up. So what page has been searched, child pages, and how it's set up. So it's none of these sections anymore, but it's the bits at the bottom to give you some additional context. Sorry, I should mention local SEO, which actually really does work if you have a physical office or branch, okay? So I'm going to explain what I mean when I go into these sections. So, it should be called local SEO. That's it. Local SEO. Now they have an X. I completely expect this because this is a worldwide wildlife fund organisation in the UK. Unless they had a physical branch or service, I would expect this as an X, because this is a kind of a way of the website knowing that you have a physical entity, and they don't, so they wouldn't have it. But if you had a shop or maybe a charity that they might have in the UK, a charity shop in the UK, then potentially they would use this if it has a physical address. So you don't have a schema. In other words, Google hasn't been informed that it has a local physical address. You don't have the information of the local physical address and contact details. So you can see profile information, and it will trawl it automatically from your URL, but also as well, it can pick up information from a Google business account. And this will probably make more sense when we look at the donkey sanctuary, and you can see how it's been entered in there. So what I might do is we might do a contrast compare quite quickly so you can have a look. It also wouldn't have local Google reviews. So your local SEO helps on two counts. It helps on your Google map. So when you're searching for something, it's got a location and area, and it helps with local in-country or area searches. Now this actually changes the results on the Google search pages. If you have this, if they're searching for a location or something, or a named place, which might be like a retail shop or things like that. So it is very worthwhile if you have a physical bricks and mortar store to have this. But this one hasn't, so it doesn't make sense, right? Unless it had a charity shop, maybe it would do. The section called technical results, this is basically listing how the website is defined and the elements it's used to serve that website. So it's got things like Amazon Web Services that they use. To what level, I don't know. It's got a cloud, it's got Google Tag Managers. You don't know all the detail. These are just elements. This might be worthwhile when you're talking to techies so they have the information. Talks about your IP address. Your IP address are just the numbers associated with wwf.org.uk. So each of these human names have an IP address around next to them. Your domain name servers is where your wwf.org.uk is registered. So web server, it's just the name of it, doesn't mean much. The character set also doesn't mean much, not unless you're techie, to be honest. And I would try and explain it, but I will fail miserably. The review child pages, these are the different pages that fall after www.org.uk. So as you can see, events is one of them. But also what I would look at, and I find quite interesting, is this, see the question mark afterwards, the page equal 1, the page equal 2. This to me is indicated these are quite popular. But I know that these kind of sort the events. So let's go and have a look. And this is an area I might look at to improve their SEO. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, this is a giveaway that it shows you that you can actually run an SEO report on those specific sections. I love it when I make mistakes. Hopefully it just took me back because I want to go and find the URL. Right, so there we go, pushed it. This is an area I think they might be able to improve their SEO. Reason being is Google treats this as a separate page, but because this information might not be a separate page, it might just help with sorting and pages. As you can see, equal page 1. It probably means that they can go through different pages. And this might change about page 2. Let's have a look. But do you see the images stay the same? And the content is roughly the same. What they've done is they've designed this that they can have multiple pages should the content on there increase. Yeah, so it can go across, or it could be different devices that you want to say, oh, I want to see page 1 of this now, I want to see page 2 of this. And this will be specifically, well, for their Christmas by the looks of it. But say if you had events and you had multiple events showing, instead of having to be a big list that you scroll down, you would carry on. See more next. Here it is next. And more would be your next page. They're talking about the facts down here. But the top elements stayed the same. Now, that's not good for Google SEO. The reason being, even though these are different, the majority of your page sees like it's the same, right? So Google's going, hang on, are you just trying to trick us by duplicating content? And then they tell you off a little bit. So this is an area I might go, yeah, it's pretty popular. Can we improve this or structure this in a different way? You would have to work with your techies to try and understand this. And there's a load of different ways to try and look at this and how you do this, including like Google Search Console and explaining to Google Search Console what the hell these means. And sometimes not to double count them all the time, because double counting them, it doesn't like it and it's duplicated content. Or instead of this carousel with this question mark thing, you change it that these are like just specific pages like this, and they link to URL somehow or some way. There's lots of different options. Okay, let's go back to this. But I definitely would look at that for them, because that could potentially improve things and create new opportunities or search areas, because you start seeing what pages people are interested in. You see this page 1 doesn't mean much, because the content's too dynamic. Yeah, if you had it more specific, you know it's actually the tigers that they're interested in more. And then you can start tailoring campaigns to focus on people that were searching for the tigers, or it might have been the bears, or it might have been the elephants. So it'd be worthwhile looking at what people are searching at and getting more insights with how you structure basically the web page. So that would be a techie thing. Sorry, I digress a bit in technical terms, but when you've got anything with a question mark like this and it's high up in the results, always ask your techie, what is it doing? Is there a better way of doing this to improve our SEO? That was a better way if I just phrased it like that, right? Okay, and that is the whole section of this report. Oh look, you can show me more and you can carry on going through all the pages. But that's it now. Okay. In that case, then, we are going to spend the time going through the DocuSanctuary again in the last sections of this course, and you'll see how local SEO actually makes a difference and how it could be populated for local SEO for when you have an actual physical location. See you in the next course.